asking what Pluribus is about. Power, technology, politics, AI? No. Pluribus is about something way scarier. It's about what happens when everyone agrees. And episode 1 is not trying to shock you, it's trying to train you. By the end of this video, you'll realize the pilot isn't introducing a story, it's introducing a system. And once you notice that, you can't unsee it. So let's get this out the way. Pluribus is not a rebellion show, a dystopia with obvious villains, a technology gone wrong kind of story. Vince Gilligan doesn't do that anymore. Breaking Bad wasn't about drugs. Better Call Saul wasn't about law. Pluribus is about consensus. Specifically, what happens when morality becomes procedural? Episode 1 doesn't ask, is this good or bad? It asks, why would anyone object? Everyone keeps saying e pluribus unum means out of many, there is one. But no one finishes the thought because the question is, how do you turn many into one? Force, violence, authority? No. You use language, process, participation. Episode 1 is about the polite erasure of individuality. Not through oppression, but through agreement. Here's the part no YouTube channel is touching on. The main character of episode 1 is not a human being. It's a decision-making framework. Every scene in the pilot is structured to remove emotional extremes, flatten moral urgency, and replace judgment with procedure. The system doesn't feel cold, it feels reasonable. And that right there is the trap. If episode 1 feels slow, that's good. Because Gilligan is doing something terrifying here. He opens with bureaucracy, meetings, guidelines, processes, consensus, language. Nothing explodes, no one screams, no one rebels. Episode 1 shows how evil stops needing intent. There are no villains, there are no heroes. It's just outcomes. And this is where Pluribus becomes dangerous. Episode 1 subtly reframes disagreement as inefficiency, objection as emotional noise, and moral resistance as selfishness. Not outlawed, just discouraged. The system never says you're not allowed to disagree. It says we've already accounted for your concern. And that's way worse. This is not an AI takeover kind of show. It's about responsibility diffusion. Episode 1 introduces a system that aggregates human input, produces optimized outcomes, removes individual accountability. No one makes a decision, so no one can feel guilty. The horror isn't control, it's relief. The characters are intentionally unremarkable. They're helpful, polite, thoughtful. Because Gilligan wants you to understand something crucial here. Systems don't need a monster. They need participants. Episode 1 is asking you, would you go along with this? And the uncomfortable answer is probably yes for most of you. The pilot isn't asking, what if this goes wrong? It's asking, what if this works perfectly? What if outcomes are fair, bias is reduced, and conflict disappears, and yet something essential is also gone? Episode 1 ends not with a cliffhanger, but with a moral, numbness feeling. And that is the point of no return for all of us. Pluribus isn't political propaganda, it's worse. It's a mirror. It asks, is disagreement a feature or a flaw? Is friction necessary for morality? And at what point does harmony become control? Episode 1 doesn't answer these questions. It just shows you how easy it is to stop asking them. The episode isn't about the future, it's about now, about how systems already speak, how responsibility has already disappeared, and how agreement already replaces judgment. And the scariest part is no one made you comply. You chose to. And with that, that's done. Okay.